Today's problem to solve, we're actually in a garage, the Lancer is home. We got actual tools, so hopefully projects can go by a lot smoother. But it's right here, covered in a trash bag because it was raining when I moved it. Gas-powered log splitter. Now everything on it works fine, but you might notice there's a piece of plywood shoved in underneath here. On this rail, there's this bent piece of metal that has the face that squishes the logs into the splitting edge and splits the wood. But the piston wiggles back and forth and up and down, causing that to come off. So we've shimmed it with a piece of plywood. Not a permanent solution. So that's what we're going to be solving today. You can see there's nothing keeping this thing in place. There's no adjustability in this. I tried loosening it and taking it out. So now there's all this play. And then when the piston extends, you can see now there's a whole lot of play here. It comes off the track. So I'm going to take some dimensions of this and then create a 3D printed shim that can mesh with that metal nub underneath there. Since this piece of plywood was such a good shim, I'm gonna stop you right there, buddy. I was about to do this whole thing where I recorded every single dimension I took, wrote it down, and then sketched it on a notepad, but it didn't really make a whole lot of sense, and it was kind of long and boring, so I'm gonna give you the long and short of it here right now. Okay, so the dimension of the piston was 85.5 millimeters in diameter. The distance between the piston and that metal plate was 16.5 millimeters. I wrote meters there. Oops. The height of the plate from the base of the weld to the top was 22.75 millimeters. It is 65.5 millimeters wide and 9.8 millimeters thick. That's all you need to know. Here's the finished part. It is 10 by 66 millimeters on the interior right here, so that'll hold that on that piece of metal. And then it is 16.5 millimeters up from the top at the bottom of this diameter. I strengthened the sides here and here so you can see the whole design process from start to finish. We're going to drop this part into Bamboo Slicer. I'm giving it extra strength and impact resistance by increasing the number of wall layer lines, setting the infill to gyroid, and upping the density. I'm setting it on its side because it will add strength to the sides that cradle the piston, and it will still be plenty strong under its compression load. I'm just using PLA Plus. You might say, oh, that's not going to hold up. You need to use ASA for outdoors. PLA Plus will melt and won't last. But I'm going to let you in a little secret here. I recorded half this video over a year ago, hence the sporadic part of this channel name. And I also forgot to actually record myself installing the part on the log splitter. So introducing my uncle, the owner of this log splitter, in fact, and the king of firewood. You can find his YouTube channel at MR Outdoor Variety. He does a bunch of side quests around the countryside of Missouri. Credit to him for being the cameraman in this next bit. So he sent me this video showing the part is here, still going strong over a year later. I don't even know how many more cords it's chopped since then, but safe to assume it's not an insignificant amount. So in this instance at least, PLA Plus does just fine. That is honestly incredible and goes to show just how far cheap and easy 3D printing material science has come over the years. As he's pointing out here, it's doing a great job at staying on that track now, and it appears that there's not much warping, there's no squishing or anything, and it's stayed in place, it's not deteriorated, it's doing the job just fine. Alright folks, sit back and relax while I go to town putting this baby to work. I don't know why the audio got absolutely fried in this section, but I'm just showing how a pin came out, and I'm going to replace it so that the lever works again. That'll do it. There's two kinds of dogs. Well, it looks like a good day's work. Hi, sweetie. Hey, Callie. All the sticks, all the logs chopped up into a semi-functional cord. Fixed up the log splitter and the chainsaw. It's time to sit back, light this thing ablaze.